What if the very thing that made you successful as a leader is now quietly making you less human? If you're the one everyone leans on, the one that stays calm, carries the pressure, and holds it together when things get messy, there's a hidden cost to that. And it usually doesn't show up all at once. It shows up slowly. It becomes a little less warm, a little less open, a little less surprised by people, a little more efficient, and a little less alive. And here's the real question. When a senior leader becomes the emotional container for everyone else, who is holding them? Hi, I'm Pietro Pazzi. I help senior executives transform their leadership from the inside out so they can manifest their true potential, navigate the complexities with clarity, lead with strong impact, and build the inner capacity their next level demands through integrating psychosynthesis with 30 years of global leadership experience. We don't just work on behaviors. We transform your inner operating system. In this video, I want to explore a pattern I see a lot in senior leaders, the hidden cost of always being the strong one. We look at why it happens, what it quietly does to your leadership, and how to come back to the strength without becoming armored. And stay with me, because near the end, I'll share the one shift that matters most, not a performance trick, not another mindset hack, the deeper shift that helps you keep your strength without losing your range, your warmth, or your perspective. The first thing to say is this: becoming the strong one is not a flaw. Most of the time, it begins as a gift. You're steady in uncertainty. You can absorb pressure. You don't collapse when things get hard. In a volatile world, that matters. But in leadership, the gift can harden into an identity. You stop being someone who can carry the pressure and start believing you're the one who must carry everything. That's where the trouble starts. In my coaching, we talk about the risk of getting caught in a role, caught in pressure, caught in adaptation, caught in identity. When self-awareness weakens under stress, leaders become more reactive, less reflective, and can slowly lose themselves inside the leadership persona. And this is not abstract. Gallup's 2025 global workplace data found that 42% of managers experienced stress a lot in the previous days, slightly higher than individual contributors. So the people expected to regulate the temperature of the room are often running hot themselves. So what does this look like in real life? Usually, not a dramatic breakdown. Usually it's a narrowing, a loss of range. Instead of being flexible, you become functionally strong, useful, dependable, but emotionally narrowed. You become great at sorting problems, but less able to sit with uncertainty, grief, contradiction, or vulnerability. You lose warmth, not because you stop caring. Often it's the opposite. You care so much and carry so much that your system starts protecting itself. Conversations become more transactional. You listen for action points, not for the person. You manage energy by becoming more defended. And you lose perspective. Psychosynthesis work describes deep listening as listening beyond words, listening for the beliefs, the values, the energies, the body language, even what is emerging beneath the surface. But when your own internal noise is too loud, that deeper listening gets diluted. You still hear people, but you stop fully meeting them. That matters because burnout is not just tiredness. The World Health Organization describes burnout as chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed, marked by exhaustion, growing mental distance or cynicism, and reduced professional efficacy. That middle part, mental distance, Here's the bit many leaders miss. It's not just fatigue, it's a disconnection. Let's go one layer deeper. Beneath being strong, there's often loneliness. Not social loneliness necessarily. You may be surrounded by people. I'm talking about emotional loneliness. The loneliness of feeling that you cannot fully fall apart. You cannot fully not know. Cannot fully let others see the cost of what you're carrying. Gallup's 2025 data found that 23% of managers experienced loneliness many times. That should make us stop, because if leaders are carrying the emotional load while quietly becoming isolated, then strength can turn into separation. And once that happens, leaders often become less coachable, less relational, and more identified with control. They cannot ask for help. They don't want to burden others. They become the container, but not a living container, a sealed container. Here's a few signs this may be happening to you. You are patient in the boardroom, but strangely impatient at home. You solve other people's problems quietly, but avoid your own feelings. Your team experiences you as clear, but not always accessible. You are constantly on, but rarely deeply present. And your body starts speaking. Tight jaws, shallow breathing, poor sleep, less joy, less softness, less humor. That matters more than many leaders realize. A 2025 study of school leaders found that emotional labor significantly predicted job-related stress, and stress strongly predicted burnout. In that study, stress explained a very large share of burnout. Yep, it's a different sector, but the mechanism is familiar. When your role requires constant emotional management, your nervous system pays the price. So what do you do? Not, how do I stop being strong? That's the wrong question. The real question is, how do I stay strong without disappearing inside the role? Here are three shifts. Firstly, move from role to self. Take a few minutes each day to ask, what am I carrying that is mine? What am I carrying that belongs to the system, the team, or the culture around me? That small act of reflection matters. Self-awareness is the foundation. Without it, leaders become driven by pressure rather than guided by presence. Secondly, restore your emotional range. Name what you feel before you name what you think. Not for drama, for accuracy. Actually, I'm disappointed. I'm anxious. I'm tired. I'm carrying too much. That kind of honesty prevents hardening. Third, let yourself be held. This is the part many senior leaders resist. But the opposite of collapse is not control, it's connection. Real strength includes opening to help. It includes relationship. It includes allowing another person to see you without needing you to perform strength for them. I call this right relations. Not treating people as objects in your world, but meeting them and yourself more truthfully in the here and now. And here's the shift I promised at the start. The hidden cost of being the strong one is not simply burnout. It is self-loss. It is slowly leading from armor instead of presence. And the way back is not to become less strong. It is to become less alone. So if you recognize yourself in this, don't make it another reason to judge yourself. Take it as an invitation, a callback to a stronger kind of strength, one that includes reflection, honesty, warmth, support, and real inner range. Because leadership is not just about how much pressure you can hold. It's also about how fully human you can remain while holding it. Thank you for being here. If this spoke to you, explore my leadership depth coaching at pietropazzi.com and book a 30-minute complimentary exploratory chat with me through the website or the links in the description. I'd love to support you.